heard the expression, everybody makes mistakes. Does everybody make mistakes? I think they do. I make mistakes. Your teachers and TAs make mistakes. Even Mr. Minot makes mistakes. But how do you feel when you make a mistake? Is it something you feel bad about? Is it something you think about a lot after you've made a mistake? Or is it something that you can laugh about? Is it something you can joke about with your friends and your relatives? Today's story is about an unusual little girl called Beatrice. And she's unusual because she's a girl who never makes mistakes. So I wonder how Beatrice would feel if she were to make a mistake. Well, in the story, Beatrice does make a mistake. And I wonder how she'll cope with that. Listen to the story and find out what happens.
The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes by Mark Pett and Gary Rubinstein. For Beatrice Bottomwell, Friday began like any other day. She matched her socks and, of course, she put her shoes on their proper feet. She remembered to feed her hamster, Humbert, his favourite food, broccoli. And when she made a sandwich for her brother Carl's lunch, she used exactly the same amount of peanut butter as jelly. We call that jam. When she stepped outside to greet her fans, she didn't forget to say, "Good morning," and "Thank you." They asked if she'd made her bed. She had. They asked if she forgot to do her maths homework. Nope. What about tonight's talent show? They asked. I'm ready, said Beatrice with a smile. After all, her juggling act had won 3 years in a row. Most people in town didn't even know Beatrice's name. They just called her the girl who never makes mistakes, because for as long as anyone could remember, she never did. Unlike Beatrice, Carl made lots of mistakes. He ate his crayons and drew with his green beans. He danced with his hands and played the piano with his feet. Carl loved to make mistakes. At school, Beatrice was on cooking team with her 2 best friends, Millie and Sarah. To make their giant rhubarb muffins, they needed 4 eggs. Beatrice went to the refrigerator and carefully chose the biggest, eggiest eggs she could find. But on the way back, her legs slipped out from under her. The eggs went flying. Beatrice was about to make her first mistake. But she didn't. That was close, thought Beatrice. Sorry, Beatrice, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. Oh, okay. For the rest of the school day, Beatrice could not stop thinking about her almost mistake. On her way home from school, Beatrice watched Millie and Sarah ice skating in the park. Come join us, said Millie. It's fun, said Sarah. Beatrice watched them slip and slide on the frozen pond. Millie and Sarah laughed as they wobbled on the ice. No thanks, said Beatrice. At supper, Beatrice barely touched her food. Is everything all right, kiddo? Asked her father. I'm worried I'll mess up tonight, said Beatrice, and everyone will be watching. Worry? You don't make mistakes, he said with a smile. Beatrice tried to smile too. After supper, Beatrice got ready for the talent show. First, she woke Humbert up from his nap. Next, she got the salt shaker from the kitchen table. Finally, she filled a balloon with water. The school auditorium was packed. Beatrice felt her stomach jumping around inside her. Beatrice waited for her juggling music to begin. "That's her! That's the girl who never makes mistakes," said a woman. "Oh, we know she'll be perfect," said a man. When the music started, she tossed Humbert into the air. Next, she added the salt shaker, and finally the water balloon. Beatrice didn't miss a beat. The crowd clapped with delight. But Beatrice noticed something odd about the salt shaker. The specks falling out of it were not white. I wonder what Beatrice had picked up. Achoo! Humbert was so surprised by his sneeze that he grabbed the water balloon with his claws. Kablooey! Humbert, pieces of water balloon, and the pepper rained down on top of Beatrice. For the first time in as long as anyone could remember, Beatrice made a mistake. And it was a big one. The music stopped. Beatrice didn't know what to do. Cry? Run off the stage? The crowd sat stunned. They couldn't believe that the girl who never makes mistakes made a mistake. Beatrice looked up at Humbert. He looked back at her. His hamster fur was soaked and speckled with bits of balloon. Beatrice let out a giggle. The giggle grew into a chuckle, and the chuckle became a laugh. The people in the crowd looked at each other and then back at Beatrice. They began to giggle, then chuckle, then finally roar with laughter. Beatrice and the audience laughed until they couldn't remember why they were laughing. That night, Beatrice slept better than she ever had. In the morning, no fans greeted Beatrice. When she got dressed, Beatrice, for no reason at all, put a polka dot sock on one foot and a plaid sock on the other. Beatrice and Carl made sandwiches. This time they put the peanut butter and jelly on the outside. They called it an inside-out PB&J. Lunch was messy and delicious. Later, Beatrice found Millie and Sarah skating in the park. They fell a lot and laughed. Now, people no longer call her the girl who never makes mistakes. They just call her Beatrice. Beatrice seemed a lot happier after she'd made her mistake. I wonder how you felt after you've made mistakes. And after listening what happened to Beatrice, I wonder how you'll feel the next time you make a mistake. Will you be able to learn to laugh about it and have fun, just like Beatrice did? Just have a think. So the next time you make a mistake, don't feel bad about it. Making mistakes is a good thing to do because it's something that you can learn from. So use it as an opportunity. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. See you soon.